a string salesman, a general bullshitter, etc. On occasion I'll have, I'm fortunate enough to have dinner in Stephanie's kitchen, and stories get batted back and forth, and it's always pretty entertaining. Rarely am I involved in the entertaining part of it, but apparently this is one that she likes, so I'll share it with you. It's a pretty common phenomenon for people that have how many people here have had an ingrown toenail in their lifetime? A couple? Yeah, a couple of hands out there? Yeah, pain, right? Real pain in the ass in general. So I run a fair bit. I'm in high school. When you're in high school in rural Prince Edward Island, you've got a regular doctor that you can go to. So I go see the doctor, and I'm like, hey, look, this is what I'm up against. Can you help me out here? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll fix you up. So his remedy is to take a local anesthetic, sort of freeze you in here, and with a local, couple of needles, hurts a little bit, takes the nail probably a quarter of the way across, cuts it back to the quick, takes a pair of pliers, pulls a corner section out of it, and presumably then the thing can grow straight on its path, and everything's, I know I'm grossing people out several times. So presumably the thing goes on a straight path and everything's going to be okay. Fine. So I go see this guy every 6 months. He's doing this for me. Then I gotta, I gotta run off to university, and then so I'm doing a biology degree. I have a dissection kit. I got a couple of drinks of tequila in me on a Friday night. The thing is bothering me. I don't have a doctor in the town that I studied in. So I thought, okay, this is a wicked opportunity to entertain some people in my dormitory. So you slug back a little bit of tequila, and you kind of you sanitize your tools from dissecting the frog. You go in, you go, okay, I've seen this done 100 times. You take the painkiller, you administer the surgery. I'm saying he's plugging his ears. He's like, I want to know. And so you take your pliers out of your guitar case and you get in there, and it makes a sound sort of like as the vacuum sort of pulls it out. So I know. Not something you should take on by yourself. But every 3 months, every 6 months, depending on the calcium intake, you got to go through this process. You don't have a doctor there to look after this for you. 4 years go, yeah, I know. 4 years go by. You get your degree. You move back to a place where you're like, okay, I'm an adult now, as Mo Bird would say, and I'm going to get myself a family doctor. You get yourself a family doc, and you're still suffering with this problem. You're still trying to run through it. You're still trying to go on with your life. I'm in Charlottetown. I go see this orthopedic surgeon. He's this big Russian guy who I've never seen since. I never saw him before that. I never saw him since. I'm like, hey doc, here's my problem. I just ran through what I run through for you. I fix. Okay, all right. This is my guy. He's going to look after me. No problem. So I go in, I'm thinking, it's probably going to be another local, the guy's going to look after me, everything's going to be okay. He's like, we got to give you a general, you got to come into the hospital, I'm going to knock you out. We don't discuss how the surgery is going to go, we don't really get into the details of it. I'm just like, I fix, it's good enough for me. I've been dealing with this for a bunch of years at this point. He knocks me out. Effectively, the surgery goes something like this. It's absurd. He's like, okay, so he hauls the thing off. He gets rid of it. But I'm asleep, and that's going all fine. So there's a bed of, there's a nail bed, and then there's
Wait,
like
he takes your whole toenail?
Yeah, he takes the whole thing off, right? And then he gets down to the bone and scrapes the nail bed off. There's a bed of cells. Yeah, no. So he scrapes the cells off, right? To get rid of the thing that's going to grow off the top of your foot. And then effectively, I can't believe it, basically he takes a bunch of the meat off the end of your toe and kind of goes chunk, leaves the skin, takes the skin from the bottom of the toe and flips it up over the top. So he shortens the toe up for me, flips that sucker over the top, and scraped the nail bed off. So on this toe, you got a toe print, you got a fingerprint, so I got a toe print on the fucking top of my toe at this stage. So I wake up and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, what kind of a butcher job have you got done here? So and then there's this like a neat little suture job up the middle of the thing. There's no nail, and Parker men, like the males in my family, all are sort of fortunate in that all of our feet have, you know, some people have probably got the same condition. I've just got this. Anyway, you know, you got the long big toe, right? This is on my big toe, on my left foot. So you get the long big toe that identifies you. So he shortened it up so it looks a little bit more symmetrical with the rest of the ones on that foot, thankfully. 2 weeks go by, he's like, the sutures are going to come out, you know, I'm doing gigs and I'm on like sort of crutches, getting around, hobbling around on this thing. The pain starts to subside, the Tylenol 3 subscription, you know, depletes out of my cupboard. And I'm walking fine, and then it's kind of itchy, right? You know, you get something that's sewn up and operated upon, and then it's itchy. The sutures dissolve, or, yeah, they dissolved. I don't think I had to go back to see him to get them to come out. And it's starting to get itchy. And then it's starting to sort of separate a little bit. I'm like, that's not perfect. Anyway, he fucking missed a section of cells on the nail bed to go back to the earlier section. So I've got this little round toenail that's like that big, and it grows straight up through the top of my foot. You know, so my wife is completely mortified because it's like it's a perfect little weapon though, right? So because you can't cut it with a pair of scissors, you can't really get it with the toenail things. You kind of got to file that sucker down, you know. Otherwise, it's a weapon in the bedroom, ladies and gentlemen. And I call it the devil toe. So maybe you should try it at home, rather than trust your fate to the Russian doctors in Charlottetown that I've never seen before or since. Anyway, it'll be on display if you want to see it. That's my story. Thanks. Have a good blowhard.